Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wonder Women. Today, I have the great pleasure to introduce you to a Wonder Woman that has touched my heart when I heard her story. She is Nalene Baker from Supermoms. Her story is impacting, and I want to share it with all of you. So, welcome.
Thank you, Yolanda. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
It's incredible that we met at Virtual Moms Collective.
Yes.
When I heard your story, I was like so moved, and I want to share the story with our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is funny that we met at Virtual Mom Collective because I met her at another event.
Really?
So it's almost like it just keeps giving.
Yes.
The relationships and the moms and just the fact that we're all in this together.
Denise is a wonderful
Yes.
person, and I know you were part of the panel.
Mhm.
And I want to first talk a little bit about yourself. So,
Sure.
let me know I know you're from. You live in Broward, but this is not your native home. Where are you from?
No, originally I'm from New York, and so it's funny because I was born in New York, and my parents are from Guyana,
Uh-huh.
so they were immigrants that came over, and then we're three sisters, and they thought New York was too dangerous at the time. It was not what it is now, so they moved us to Pennsylvania. And we lived there.
Was it shocking?
Yeah, it was
shocking to the system?
it was very shocking because I was in sixth grade, and we're all like in it with our friends and the trends of New York and so stylish. And then we got to Pennsylvania, and I was like, oh, what happened here? But
The cold weather, right?
The cold weather,
You're
everything.
not used to the.
No, so we made friends though, and it was a different life. But looking back now, we would never have been able to drive at 16 like we did in Pennsylvania, because the city was too dangerous for the
Right.
three girls, And I graduated from Penn State.
Oh my God!
And
Congratulations!
oh, thank you.
That's a big.
It was a big
accomplishment.
accomplishment for me. I was one of the first ones in my family to graduate from college. And, to have my cousin see like Penn State on TV.
Set an example,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. Very
Big
high.
deal.
But it was amazing. And then I moved back to the city as an adult. So I couldn't get New York out of my system. And I started there as a precious metals trader and moved on to banking.
Wow.
And then moved to
Special
Florida.
metal? Trader, can
Yeah,
you
precious
elaborate?
metals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like gold or?
yeah, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. So I had like one phone with the broker in the
Oh,
stock
wow.
market, and the other one was my clients in Colombia. So I was speaking Spanish.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was good Spanish back then because, you had to get the quantity and the price and the date and everything. Like,
So a little bit about me. I dealt with explosives international.
oh my.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
You're
so
like
yeah.
James Bond.
So it's funny, like those
Yeah.
are careers that women, are in, and people don't know that we're in that type of field,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that one's fun, dealing with gold and silver.
Yeah, I should
would
have
love
bought more back then.
So let's get to. I think you said you were in your 20s or so when the situation happened.
Yeah, so my parents passed when we were all in college,
All three of.
Yeah, so I was 21 and my youngest sister had not even turned 18 then. And so we really had to adjust, in terms of how were we going to finish school and where were we going to live. And so, it takes a family to come together, but within that family is our family. And now that family was just the three of us.
And
So-
you took, which is what I admire you most. You took responsibility. You took it upon yourself.
I mean, I had to, I mean, sometimes you would think that there would be a resource there or people would talk about even just grieving. And honestly, there wasn't really anything because, a lot of people, they go on with their lives and you have your own families and it may be even like, tiptoe around them. Like, what are we going to say to these three girls that now are alone in the world?
I feel like looking back at my life, right? There are situations that are presented. There are situations that you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And you don't even know how you're going to react to them. But your reaction was, I got this. I'm going to help my sisters. I'm going to take control and guide them. And I think that's a beautiful thing you did. You didn't question. You just you got to work, and you were selfishless. You didn't think about yourself. You thought about your family, which is so admirable.
Thank you so much.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think as we've gotten older, like I was telling you over the phone, when we become moms, we wear these glasses, right? And we see life in a different ways, and we see it clearer. And when people do something like what you did, it should be talked about, and it should be admired. And there are so many good people out there. And I know it was your sisters, but you know how many family members don't have that opportunity. You know, they go into foster care and stuff. And no, they had you, and that's amazing that you did that for your family. So you raised your two sisters. You helped raise your two sisters. And how did that go? How was that experience? What did you learn?
I mean, it's hard, right? Because like when you're in college, you kind of have like newfound responsibilities, right? You don't live at home anymore. You don't have to check in really. Nobody knows when you come in if you don't want them to. So you kind of have like this false sense of independence, but really you still have something as your permanent address where your parents live, and to go back home for holidays and do laundry and things like that. But we didn't. So it was difficult to say like, well, where is your base right now? And then also, like, what are we going to do for family Thanksgivings or Christmas and stuff? Because, it was just we didn't want to be like an additional, responsibility to anybody else, because we were sort of adults. But at the same time, we didn't have any direction. And it was difficult. There's three of us. We're all strong-willed women. We were raised to be very independent, and everyone has their idea too of what success could look like for them. And it was very much a way of saying, hey, how are we going to do this as a unit now until we know what else to do? And
the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was funny because my maiden name is Rampersad. And so a lot of us, a lot of times, people would refer to us as the Rampersad girls. So it was almost like we were always a unit.
A beautiful unit. I wish I would love to meet your other sisters.
It's they are, they'll give you the most entertaining days and nights, because, we all have great stories with each other, and we analyze all the stories, and, we keep all the secrets. So it's a good time.
Wow. So what do you do now? I know you're a mom, but career-wise, what do you do now?
Yeah, so I am a merchant account specialist for merchant industry, and so I help leverage credit card processing for small businesses and companies.
Wow. So you work with small businesses?
Yes, that's my passion now.
Yeah. What do you specialize in one type of small business, or?
No, basically it's to help businesses that may be starting off that don't have a way to process or use credit cards for their businesses. Right. Any sort of cash advances, opportunities in terms of, adding into their business or renovations or additional inventory. And then also,
and that industry is changing consistently now.
Absolutely.
Keep up with it is pretty.
Yeah.
Because now it's on the phone.
It's social. I mean, people can really drive business to your company by reviews and engagement. And that's another aspect of it too. It's a one-stop shop.
Right. I still don't have a credit card on my phone. Like, you just tap it. Yeah, the Apple Pay. You tap it and out the door goes. I'm not used to that yet. So keeping up with technology, it must be pretty hard right now. And something new is going to come out tomorrow.
That's what I actually like about it.
Really?
The fact that you're constantly learning. We all see the joke of like the older grandparents just giving the phone to their grandchild to be like, can you do this? You know what I mean? And as I'm getting older, I want to make sure that I'm on the forefront of technology, and that I'm not going to be that person that's going to be like, I don't know, so I want to know. I want to be able to. And a lot of times, using technology that's available now is a game changer. It helps really
It helps your business
it helps
enormously.
streamline
Yes,
processes.
it's so
I
much
mean,
better.
even AI now, people are
Mhm.
using ChatGPT just to write out their, business plans or even their procedures, standard operating procedures, because it's a time saver and it's a reference point. So it's valuable for everyone.
It's scary, because nobody likes change.
Yes.
And, when you don't know the change, you don't have a feel for it, you can't see it,
Right.
it becomes scary. So that's what happens with a lot of business. Being a small business owner, when I went through, started accepting credit cards, I was like, oh my God, now the little piece of paper, and I have to save the little paper and scan it. You think of all those things, but it's not like that. Now it goes straight into the computer, it goes into a file, and then you're done,
And that's it.
It makes your life easier.
And, I was just thinking about it the other day, like how we used to go to even the ATM machines. That's not even, now we Zelle, and that's
Now we do
technology.
deposits on our
I don't even go to the bank.
So you become a mom,
Yes.
and you have this beautiful idea, and you open a foundation called Supermoms. But how did you come up with this idea, and why did you come up with this idea?
Well, I had met my husband in South Beach. And so we're in South Beach on our scooter and just going to all the restaurants and the clubs, having a good time. And, we realized if we're going to start a family, South Beach wasn't really that accommodating,
We lived in South Beach too.
Yeah. I mean,
get
they
it.
accommodate the dogs more than they accommodate the kids.
Yeah.
And it was nice because we also had a dog at the time. But like you go to the restaurants in South Beach and they give you dog water first, which is super sweet.
Yeah.
But I couldn't fit a stroller or anything there on Lincoln Road without, getting
understand.
looks, So we said, let's move to Broward, have a baby, move to Broward, So it was great because we had a lot of room. We needed room. But I didn't have any resources. Everybody that I knew and everyone I was doing business with was in South Beach. And I thought for myself, I can make this work. They're not going to forget about me. Because a lot of times, South Beach is very small. When you're local, it's very small. And you know everyone.
Yeah, you know everyone.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the hardest things of having a baby in South Beach, I don't know how people do it in New York, is when you buy groceries and then you put it in you have the stroller and a lot of groceries. And then how do you take all the groceries and the baby with the stroller up to your apartment?
Yeah.
It's like
you need an extra hand, even just to put the shopping cart back in the parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running because the baby's in the car. I'm like, oh,
you can't leave
you know
the
what I
baby
mean?
in
Yeah,
the car.
I'm like, sorry, I didn't take it all the way over, but it's like and that's the thing. Like, as soon as you become a mom, people forget.
Yeah.
People forget, hey, she needs 2 hands for the baby.
Yeah.
So
2 hands,
the other
2 eyes.
stuff, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle, literally, and then that's not even half of, the new term now, which actually helps me address the mental load, like the mom math.
That's a great
point.
Like,
that's okay, we have to leave at 3. That means we have to, this class starts at 3. That means we have to leave at 2. That means we have to get ready at 12. It's all that, the logistics of it, the multitasking of it. And I didn't really understand any of that until I became a mom. What I did expect was, Yolanda, seriously, I thought that when I became a mom, somebody would be like, a secret handshake, welcome to the club. You know what I mean? And I was like, wait, what happened? Like, no one's coming to say hello. You know what I mean?
There's a moment when we become moms that we remember clearly, right?
Yeah.
So my moment was when my daughter Lourdes was born, and I was alone finally in the room. No nurse, not my husband. No one was visiting at that moment. And I had to change her pamper. And I said, oh my God.
Yep.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is forever.
Yes.
It was an eye-opening moment. And you're like, oh my God.
Yes.
Tomorrow she'll be here. And I got to do all these things.
Absolutely.
And it's just like a rude awakening.
It is.
You carry the baby and everything, and you think everything's going to be colorful and beautiful, but it's a person. It's reality. It's like it hits you like that.
It does. And you know what the thing is that I remember having that moment as well. Because, they give you the tips and you read the book.
You read that
and
famous book.
But it's only one book, first of all. But no, there's more. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even when you're pregnant, every day you're like, oh, now she's the size of a pea. Now she's a watermelon. Don't eat this. Don't do this.
Right.
Okay, fine. So we did it. And now you think the pregnancy part is the biggest part. Now they're here. The baby is here. And it's like, oh, have a routine, have a bath time, have a, and then you get the routine. And then it's that one day that you're like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to go on for at least a minimum 18 years.
Or more nowadays.
For sure. But I'm thinking like, there's no like, hey, the baby goes to sleep, my day is over.
No.
Or sleep when the baby sleeps. No, I still have to clean up the house. I have to get ready for the next day. I have to make baby food. I have to do laundry. I have to rotate the clothes. I have to throw away this.
And for you, it was harder because you mentioned to me, you realized that you didn't have someone to call.
No, and there was crazy things. One time my daughter woke up and she had like this big welt on her. And I was like, what is that? You can't Google this stuff. I'm trying to take pictures of it and scan it. And
don't Google anything.
No, you can't Google anything. You'll die by the weekend. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm putting ice on it. I'm putting oils on it, and it's not going down. It's not going down. So then I'm like, all right, I have to make a doctor's appointment, I try to ask the group, what do you guys think this is? You know what I mean? All kinds of answers. I'm like, oh, forget it. I go to the doctor. I'm sitting there stressing what's going to happen. And they started laughing. The doctors were like, oh, Mom, it's okay. It was a mosquito bite. Well, I didn't know it was going to swell up like this. I've had mosquito bites. It didn't look like this. Right. You know what I mean? But first time, Mom, I don't know. I don't, who's going to tell me? Nobody experiences it. And everybody, even if they did, their experience is not my experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't even have like the resource in anyone at that time to say, hey, does yours look like this? Did this happen when this happened? You know what I mean? So, because people could dismiss you.
So many. It could be so many things.
And it's scary. Like the things that go on in your head before you know the answer
100%
is very scary.
100%.
And so I was there also after that doctor's appointment thinking, so man, what am I going to do? Like if something serious happens, like who's my emergency contact? Because we weren't in school yet and I didn't have 3 people to call. My one sister was living in Dubai. My other sister was living in New York. You know what I mean? So like even my own sisters were not like a phone call away.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? First of all, I need to get out of this house because I can't do this all day. Just sit here and look at the baby. You know what I mean? Like, are you okay? So
I would love to go to Publix.
Yeah, right. I mean, and these are the things that I'm trying to do. But at the same time, I had signed up for these classes. And if you miss a class, it's $25. But, we wake up, she's throwing up. We wake up, she's vomiting. She's wake up, she's still sleeping. Let her sleep. So what am I going to do? I'm missing all these classes. I'm just waiting for her. So I said, I'm going to start my own group. And, let's start.
How Supermoms started.
Yeah, it started up as a meetup. Just to be like, hey, does anybody else want to meet? We'll go by the tree. We'll sing some songs. Then we started doing arts and crafts. Then we're doing water parks. We took trips to Legoland.
The community.
Yeah. Because they understood.
Of course.
They understood, me standing up and eating dinner is the new norm now. You know what I mean? Just... It's not civilized in terms of, pass the mustard. No, let's go. We got to go.
And you get that pat in the back when you say, I wasn't able to make a full dinner. I just had to put something in the microwave.
Yeah.
And people say, it's okay.
No, for sure. And,
because there's this guilt that, you have when you don't accomplish certain things when you're a mom.
Yeah, but.
And you need that person to say, it's okay. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to put a lot of food in the microwave and it's okay, So
they
you need that support.
It's and you do, because you know what, in the work environment they talk about multitasking, and that's supposed to be an asset in terms of you being able to do more than one thing great at work. Right. Now you're in charge of someone's life.
Right.
So what if their outfits doesn't match? So what if it doesn't have, all the colors of the rainbow that you need to have? You have to do what works for you, because that's assuming that you have a perfect family and you have a perfect husband, and you have a perfect partner, and you have a perfect kid. And that's not always the case. And there's challenges upon challenges. And it's not even like, they prepare you, you wait until the terrible twos, or she must be going through the terrible twos. And it's funny, somebody said that, and I said, terrible twos, you guys must be doing something wrong. My kid's just fine, like, and then threes came. I was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So for me, it took a year later for her to show whatever signs of development or whatever is happening happens.
So Supermoms have meetings. I know it's on Facebook, correct?
Yes. So we have a lot of events with the community. It's a online forum as well, if you'd like. I love discounts. So if we can, have a promo for any mom that needs to go out, let's do it. There's discount codes there. There's free contests that you can win stuff. So participate, and we're all in this, together.
Do you have fundraisers throughout the year?
We
events
do.
throughout the year?
Yes, absolutely. We partner with Legacy Closet. We're doing some baskets for the homeless.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, we're doing hygiene kits with them. We have an assembly set up for April 9th with Radiology Partners to do those hygiene kits. We partner with Kids in Distress for their Duck Fest that's coming up in. Yes, it's a whole fundraiser. We'll have a team, and then there's ducks that gets released into the water. They're plastic ducks, not real ducks. And you could win money there. It's a family day out in Esplanade Park. And also one of our bigger partnerships is with the Legacy Closet. So we do a lot of events there in terms of schools that have food insecurity issues, or they're actually one of the schools that's being selected to for our bathroom beautification project. So motivational and inspirational artwork throughout the school and in the bathrooms.
So you're helping the moms, but you're also helping the kids.
Yeah, they're the future. Yeah. They're our legacy.
It's a full circle.
Yes.
And I remember you mentioned you also work with the hospital, Nicholas.
Yes. So what happened was, here we are in our, mom gears and strollers at the parks and stuff. And Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital approached us and said, hey, we'd love to know what you guys are doing because we share a lot of the same initiatives.
Really?
So they're one of our bigger sponsors, and we piggyback off a lot of the events that they do. And, it's a specialized hospital in our backyard.
Wow.
You know how many people travel from across the country just when it comes to your health and your kids' health, and they're here in our backyard.
I always say how lucky we are in Miami-Dade County and Broward. We have so many resources.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of states that don't have these. They don't have
and
these resources.
And it's hard. It's a hard way to live when your resources are limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful to have the partnerships and the support of the community, because we invest back and they invest in us.
That's
so
wonderful.
It's really full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
And so what's the future for Supermoms? What are your future ideas for it?
Well, technology, of course, plays a big part of it. After COVID, that also changed the direction of some of the things that we're doing. But we're celebrating 10 years in September this year. Huh. And I think, the direction that we're taking is... Thank you. Just like in motherhood, you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
And I think with Supermoms, we're looking for partners and other nonprofits to align ourselves to increase the league of superwomen and the partners that want to do good for each other and for the community.
If you have some advice to give to our future women that are becoming moms or becoming entrepreneurs, what advice would you give them today?
I think with the focus of being International Women's Month this month.
That's right.
Man, I am seeing some major, moves with women and moms. Crazy? And man, we are taking over. These boys better watch out. But, yeah, for sure. And I see the drive and I hear the stories, and one is...
It's the passion.
And these women are doing it. These moms are doing it. The business women are doing it. Yep. They're doing it for their families. They're doing it for their legacy. And you know what? If you can't find it, make it. Start the business, start the group, start the nonprofit, and you will find your people.
Yeah, we're fearless.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's one of the becoming a mom. What taught me was that I was fearless, and we are all fearless.
Yes.
We just have to believe it, and we have to, accept the process sometimes. Sometimes we
Right.
want things really fast, and it takes a little bit of time to get there. right?
Patience. That's what
Patience.
motherhood has taught me.
Yeah.
For
A lot
sure.
of patience.
For sure.
A lot of patience. And so your next event, so if someone wants to get information,
Mhm.
can you give us the where to go to? How do we get there to your Facebook?
Sure.
How does that
So
work?
Facebook is a private page.
Do you have to become a member?
You have to ask to join.
Okay. Perfect.
Only because we're very transparent with our calendars.
Okay.
So if you don't have any kids, you don't have any business being on the page, right?
Okay.
But then our sponsors were saying, hey, we want to tag you. And they couldn't do it on the private page. So we have a public page, and that's called, it's facebook.com, Supermoms South Florida. And then, of course, 10 years ago, they're like, where's your Insta page? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had to open up an Instagram page, and that is Supermoms Nonprofit. But we always had the website, and that's www.thesupermoms.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
I had a blast.
I had a blast too.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Your energy is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope our friendship continues.
Oh, it will.
And any way I could help, I would love to help.
Likewise.
And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So, guys, thank you for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. I would like to thank the community newspaper for this opportunity that they have given us. And please follow Supermoms on Instagram and on Facebook. Please support them as much as you can. These are causes that are so important to support, right? And always remember to never give up on hope, and always, always, always believe. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless you all.